Okay, this morning we're going to talk with Maryanne Oraszewski, who's lived in Nipigon for over 70 years. And we'd like to just talk to her about her story of coming to Canada as a young woman and some of the things that she went through when she first moved here, coming from Austria. And she has provided a picture of the boat that she came to Canada in, which happened to be in a book that she was reading. So, Maryanne, now, tell us what year you came here, or how old you were when you first came here.
Not quite 23.
I just can't understand, in those years, what prompted you to come to Canada?
Well, I married John in Austria.
Oh, in Austria.
And he was a displaced person. He couldn't go back to Poland, huh?
Oh, okay.
Otherwise the Russians would have
Okay.
taken him to Siberia or killed him.
So how would he find that there were jobs in Canada?
He came through the CPR. The CPR hired people over there. I guess they couldn't get enough people to work on the railroad, huh?
Okay.
That's how he came here with quite a few.
Other people who came there.
And they all worked on every section.
Ah.
Was all.
So did he first come to Northwestern Ontario, or was he somewhere else first?
No, he came right to Rossport.
To Rossport.
In fact, and there were two. I forgot the name. He was two doctors came and worked there too.
Oh.
And after they had to make their day, one was here in Thunder Bay.
That's okay. Don't worry about their names. But
Because when I got my hip operation, he was there.
Oh my goodness!
He saw my name and he couldn't believe it.
Wow!
You know, all those
years, and he could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So when you first came here, then where was John living? That you
Section house from CPR. Right, the CPR paid for everything and had everything ready for them.
And did they pay your way over?
The CPR did.
The CPR did?
Yeah,
Oh,
they did, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. How many days on that boat, can you remember?
Oh yes, I was seasick most of the time. 6 or 7. Yeah.
And you landed in
Halifax.
Halifax, okay. Right. So coming to Northwestern Ontario, what time of year, Maryanne?
1949, March of
In
1949.
the springtime.
Yes.
So was there still snow here when you got here?
I don't remember snow.
Okay.
All I remember is just bush, trees, and bush.
And that's what lots of people still say today.
Yeah.
That's what people say today, the very same thing, right.
I sat in a train, I looked out, I said, it can't be, there should be a town or a city or something coming. No, it didn't.
So you came by train, and did they let you off in Nipigon?
They let me off right at the section house.
Oh.
That beautiful passenger train.
Right.
They stopped it right there, and I'm telling you, it was almost right at the front door too.
Oh.
I had Sonia. Sonia was not quite 7 months old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that was really...
And this is the section house in Rossport? No.
Gravel River.
At Gravel River.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So how big would a section house be in those days?
It was quite... It had one story. The foreman lived in it, and upstairs, if somebody needed a room, there was extra. We had one room, one big living room
Okay.
downstairs, and then we could use one room upstairs for stuff.
Okay, so you're sort of isolated out there.
Isolated?
Turn my phone off, that on the side. Nobody else out there except you and the
Nobody.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't believe it, you know, coming from a small country.
Into a small town.
Into such an empty
Right.
place.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, what did you keep busy doing then?
I had the baby.
Right.
Then I got, after 2 months or something, I got pregnant again. Monica was born in Nipigon.
And were you still living out there when she was born?
Yes. right in the middle on the 28th of December. Then we had snow and cold, and I had to walk through the snow to the highway. And taxi Jerry Uche was the taxi driver.
Oh, goodness.
One good thing, we had the CPR telephone.
Okay.
You see, otherwise I would have been living in Nipigon.
Right.
Yeah, so we could phone to the CPR and then they phoned a taxi.
Ah.
Yeah.
So she was born in Nipigon then.
Yes.
So now you had two
I think
babies.
she was just about the second or third baby born in the new hospital in Nipigon.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So you were out there now isolated with two babies.
Yes.
How often would you get to town? Or you didn't?
We changed every, I think, Saturday. Either John or I went shopping. And Florian Zechner, do you remember him?
Yes, I remember him.
He, either him or a driver, took us home on a truck and never charged anything for it, you know.
He felt sorry for you living out there. Well, he would know that because he's from Austria too.
He came from Austria, you know.
Right.
So I could talk to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
could you speak English when you came here?
I don't know how many words, not too much.
So that was good to converse with him then.
It sure was.
Yes.
And Austrian too.
Right.
Not just German, you know, the Austrian dialect.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
so his store was on Front Street then?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was kind
You
of...
still had to add up and everything on a piece of paper.
Oh dear, that wouldn't happen today.
No.
No, wouldn't happen
You
today.
couldn't do it.
No. So when John worked on the CPR then, did he have a certain stretch of track that he did?
Yeah. Yeah, they had, I forgot how many miles from one section house to the next.
Oh, okay.
That's all gone. There's
Right.
not one thing left.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I don't think I even know where it was at Gravel River
Is that
exactly.
right?
No, I don't.
There was a hotel not too far in Gravel River.
Oh, okay.
And that was...
I know the area you mean then.
Yeah, we could almost walk there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he,
I don't know if it was there when we were there, but it came after, I think.
that would be Harry Timco's little hotel.
No,
Oh.
Timco was in Gurney.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you were out farther.
Yeah.
Oh, you're out the Gravel River. I know what's his name there now. I
that
know
was
who you
the
mean now.
section house in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
So how long would you have lived out there?
1 year.
1 year. And that was long enough.
I came in March, then summer, one winter, and we came in the spring. Florian came at his big truck and moved us.
And where did you move to?
Nipigon.
And whereabouts?
We bought that little house from Clyde Patton. Right.
Next to Smootello's down there at the corner.
Yeah.
By the corner of the highway.
Smootello's house came Patton, the old Mr. Patton.
Right.
He built that one. Huh? His son built our little one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was the days before the highway went over the hill. It came through Nipigon.
Came still through Nipigon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How far would the highway have gone in your day when it went out to Gravel River? But did it go as far as Scriber? Or do you remember?
You know what? I don't really remember all of it, but I remember we had a car. It took quite a few years after, because I remember us driving out to Rossbad or somewhere and got stuck in the mud. and the workers had to push us out. And you know, all that dirt got off all of them. So I don't know how.
Okay. I don't remember how far the highway went in those days. So
somewhere around Schreiber or Rosport.
Okay. I know it went as far as Rosport. I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah.
Where they're doing that. Yeah.
So
So moving into Nipigon was quite an experience for you then.
yeah, we had the choice, Schreiber or Nipigon. But when I saw Nipigon, I liked Nipigon.
Okay.
Yeah, I always liked Nipigon.
Okay, good
I
for
did
us.
not want to go to Schreiber. CPR town and everything. You
Oh,
know.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So you really you still lived on the outskirts of town a little bit.
We lived in that. It was just one, and then we built onto it,
Right.
and we stayed there.
Right. So you were able to get into town to the stores,
Yeah.
and
Walking.
you
Yeah.
did lots of walking. I know
Yes.
that. Right.
Oh.
Right. So tell me about what social things then you would have done after you moved into Nipigon.
Well, at the beginning, nothing, but then later, people came from Germany,
Okay.
and then Lily and Walter, and then Heinz Walter.
Right.
He came from Germany, so and then we got together. We had a nice group. We
Okay.
got together for
Right.
holidays. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, so you would get together at holiday time.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
you know. So we had a good time together, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, I'm just thinking when you're saying for Heinz, then you were able to converse with him in German then.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See, German is our school language.
Okay.
Austrian is what you said before. You know,
That's
I
a
can,
dialect then type
A
of
dialect.
thing, eh?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm just starting to think, and you mentioned a car, so John got a car then when you lived here.
It was quite a time later. That's why I wonder. You know, I remember us getting stuck there, so I didn't realize that the highway just went there.
Okay.
As far as there.
Right.
Unless they did it by sections,
Right.
and
Right.
it was on farther or something.
It could have been, right.
Yeah.
So in that area where you had your house, were there a lot of other houses there? Or
Right on the corner was Mrs. Button, old and Mrs.
Button, right?
Button, and then later Gladys Gordon, they bought the big piece.
Right.
He
At the
knew.
motel.
He knew that, and he got it cheap. He didn't. He didn't tell them that the hype is coming to.
Oh, that was before the highway even came.
Yes.
That Stan bought that piece of property.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
I know that for a
Oh,
fact.
okay.
because-
They had the motel there for a long time.
Yeah.
It was a very nice motel,
Yes.
and it was handy to the river.
Yes.
Which was he liked, eh? Because Stan was the fly fisherman. Right. Was your husband a fisherman?
Yes. Him and George Smutello, and who was the third one? They thought they owned the river. They didn't like any of those Americans coming, you know. And I'm not kidding either.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have never told them where there was good fishing or anything. No way. They didn't want anybody down there.
That's interesting. And I know George was a real fisherman down there for
Yes.
sure. Him and Stan, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I have lots of pictures of George with his different fish
Yeah.
from
yeah.
down there. Right.
Oh yeah. He
So
got
that's interesting. I
in
didn't realize.
season and out of season. But don't put that in. But he doesn't live anymore,
No.
so
And he wasn't the only one, let's face
No,
it. It
yeah.
still happens today.
that's true.
But I didn't realize that Gordon's had the motel before the highway opened.
Yes.
That's interesting.
He was in, I think, Night of Columbus or whatever it was, and they knew the highway was going to come
they
there.
heard. Oh, well,
So
speculation, I guess, eh?
Well, he bought that from
Right.
Buttons, but never
Right.
let them know that.
So Mr. Button owned quite a bit of property down
he
on
did
that corner.
a lot of it.
Okay.
A lot of it, yeah.
Oh, and that's
yeah.
interesting.
They had a big garden between us and their house. Their house was right on that little hill,
Right.
and a big batch of strawberries. The first time she came and brought me strawberries.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I remember you telling me you worked for Gladys then later on.
Yeah, later on.
And that was kind of
Clean.
handy to you.
Yeah, I looked. We had actually a little gate, so I could just go over the highway and over. I looked after the motel when Gladys,
What was
if
working?
He was working, or if there was an emergency, she
Right.
had to go, so I just could run over there.
So for those who are watching this videotape, Gladys and Stan Gordon owned the Nipigon River Motel, and Gladys was the administrator at the Nipigon Hospital at
yeah.
that time. I don't remember where Stan worked.
Red Rock.
Oh, at Red Rock.
He had a good.
Oh, at the Red Rock Mill. Okay, so they had the motel too, so they were busy really with both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
He was, what do you call them?
Was it millwright?
I think so.
Okay, I just remember
he had
him.
a
good job there. Okay.
Good job there. Yeah.
So they were busy people.
And
So you
beside
must have remembered that busy highway being built.
Yes.
Yeah, right in your back door.
It wasn't really that big a deal, what I remember.
Right.
You know, we had quite. They took away some of our land.
Right.
Down
The back there.
But we could use it for a garden.
Right.
You know, so it didn't make any difference to us.
Right.
Though.
Right.
More to Smutalo, they almost took the whole thing right to the
On
house.
the corner there.
Yeah.
Right.
See,
Right.
for us, just a little bit, and the Betas, not much for it.
Right.
Yeah.
But what a change for you to see from then until the traffic that's going by there now, Maryanne.
Unbelievable,
Yeah, unbelievable.
I
yeah.
hate to see the motel go because, what's her name, the one who had it last?
Oh, Anna Boleyn.
Anna. She had it so nice with all
Right.
those flowers and everything.
Right.
I hated it.
So it actually only had two owners, didn't it? Really, it just had
Yeah.
Gladys
Oh, yeah.
and Anna
Yes.
and her husband,
Yes.
Boleyn.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So when your children were old enough for school, was there a school bus?
Not to the house, right from the beer store. They had to walk down there.
Oh.
And Bob Marchett was so good in the winter time sometimes. When he took theirs, he stopped and waited for hours and
Waited
gave
for
them a
them.
ride. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You remember Bob Marchett?
Yes.
Yeah, and Nell Marchett.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Yes,
was
and
a
they were
good
another people who worked in that or lived in that area of town.
Yeah.
So they lived on the river
yeah,
too.
before, and
Right.
then they had the trailer park there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because the Nipigon River is there, that
Yeah.
was the business.
Yeah.
Plus, you think of the chalet, Hillside Acres, and the motel.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
busy time there, right?
Yeah.
So you also mentioned before that because John worked for CP, you got free ride anywhere you wanted to go on the CP as a
Yes.
family,
Yeah. We had the CP bus.
right?
Yeah. The only thing we paid was if we wanted sleeping, the up and lower beds.
Right.
That's the only thing.
So do you remember traveling anywhere special on the CP?
Oh, yes. Out to PC.
Okay.
And Monica was living out there. She was married, living out there.
Oh.
And even Sonia came on the train. She was already married and teaching in Red Lake, I think. One holiday.
Okay.
I remember when we stopped Winnipeg, we got out and got something to eat, and we
Right.
were sitting up in that. We always got up on
And
the
that dome,
lower,
in the berths, okay.
you know. So, yeah.
And was there a dome car on the
Yes.
Canadian
all
then?
the time, all the
Oh,
time,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice view. And then you did tell me once that you went to Top's convention on the CP.
You know, with Mary Banning, who was the insurance?
Shayna Hanula?
No,
No.
fire insurance and
Okay, we're going to pause for a minute while we talk about that, and then because our film runs out now, so. And we'll continue just talking to Maryanne. So we were talking about way you could travel on the CP in those days, and because she had a pass, she was able to go for nothing. So Maryanne belonged to the Nipigon Tops Club in those days, and they had, I guess we call it a conference,
a top.
a Tops convention.
They got. I forgot who got some.
They got a special award, right?
Yes.
And where was
I
it?
think it was Gladys and Mary Banning.
That's Gladys Miller
Yeah.
and Mary Banning. And
Yeah.
where did it take place?
In the CP hotel right beside the station.
In Montreal? Or
Toronto.
In Toronto. So you got to go
What
to
was it? We went right underneath, right to the hotel.
Oh, nice.
We lifted up.
Okay, Zach, what was the name? What's the name of the hotel that's right at the railway station in Toronto?
Well,
The Royal
York.
Oh, the Royal
York.
The Royal York.
That was
And
one
the
of
train went underneath, and then you got.
No, the train was
Up at the top
there
there.
was a thing going underneath.
Oh, walkway.
A walkway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they had to pay their way, but you got to go for nothing.
Yes. yeah.
But
and their convention was right in the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. It was beautiful, big. It was absolutely great.
Right.
There were a few hundred people there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it is handy to the railway, which
Yes.
was very
Yeah.
convenient then. Right.
Oh, we had room service, breakfast.
Right.
We paid $12 each for two little eggs and one.
Oh, you got a taste of what it cost to go to the city.
That was a lot of money in those days. And silver, everything covered with silver.
Right.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, that's good. That's good memories.
Yes.
Right. So just go back to a few memories now. I think you told me about social times in Nipigon, like at the Elks or at the Legion, and getting together then.
We didn't really go. Legion was strictly for members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except if it was a wedding or something,
Right.
I think. But otherwise, it was just, it was really house parties what we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but there would have been dances, they would have been at the Elks Hall.
Yeah. Later on, when our children were already quite big, or out of the house, we went to the dances. But
Right.
when we with the children, the young ones, we didn't go anywhere.
Right. Tell me a little bit about you curling then, because you were a curler in your younger days.
Gladys Gordon got me into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because Stan was a really ardent curler too.
Oh,
Right, big time.
Oh
right.
my God! I heard everything I did wrong going on in the car. If you know Gladys.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's good.
And she was fine. I had a good time with her.
And that was curling at the old curling club.
Yes.
Yes.
No heating on the ice. Ice on the walls.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
it was funny, yeah. But I loved it.
There was a lot of people curled in those days.
Oh, it was always fun. Al Hackner.
Yes.
Was 10 or 12 years old. His dad came from Germany too.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
And he
that.
married an Indian lady here.
Lillian.
Yeah.
I don't remember her maiden name, but the other day I had a picture of her. I couldn't remember her first name.
Oh,
her
is
name
that
was
right?
Lillian.
Yeah.
Right.
Lillian, right.
And did she curl too?
Yeah, they
both curled.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I can remember that old curling club.
Yeah, so I know Al Hackner since he was a
Oh
boy.
boy. Well, there you are. You know somebody
Oh
important.
God.
Oh, that's good. That's good. No,
Yeah.
I just remember you saying that you curled, and I've seen pictures of you in the curling.
Yeah, for many
Did you curl
years.
at the new one here too?
Yeah, at the beginning, but then it got too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any other groups that you belong to, or any other social things, Maryanne, you might have done?
Only the church, really.
Oh, right. You belong to the church,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you would have been there in the heyday of having the ladies' auxiliaries for the church.
Yes.
Yes.
I was even I took the money, but a
Treasurer?
once for about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kept the book and that. And it was now much that I went to. We had 4 groups in the UCW.
Wow.
We met
So
at
UCW
houses.
would have been United Church Women
Yes.
in those days. And I remember Helen Wheeler telling me that there was actually a social group, and then there was a serious group in there. She said because there were so many of them.
Yeah,
One of them was quite a social group, she said.
Oh, I just remember 4 groups. And we met at houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We made carnations in those
Right,
days. That
right.
was a big outing. And going to UCW meeting in the evening, that was a social outing.
Right. Right. The United Church was known for its
Oh.
carnation sales, and I
Yeah.
know the ladies made
And that
them for
was
a long.
we had a big
Right.
active church.
Right. I think all the churches maybe were a bit
Yes.
more active then.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
interesting to think that there was actually enough women for 4 groups,
The
though,
4 groups,
in
yeah.
the church. Wow. Yeah, very very
Bernice
much.
Lorla.
Right.
was in-
I just know when I look back at Agnes Atkinson was in there, and,
She came later. They
and
came
Helen
later. She
Miller
was-
and Wilma Gordon. They were
Ellen was there for a
a
long
long
time.
time. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bernice was always late. I remember those stupid things. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's
We were
what makes
always
them
waiting for Bernice.
right. That's what makes the memories, eh?
She was the nicest person.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the nicest person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
she
one thing
busy.
she was always late.
That's good. Somebody's got to
I'm
have
just telling
something.
you, well, you don't put
that's
that
right.
in anyway.
But that's something to remember somebody by.
Yeah.
It's funny, as you say, it's funny little
Yeah.
things that come
Yeah.
to mind like that.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so then, Maryanne, how long have you lived at Shelander Court now?
My God, you know, I was just thinking, maybe 6.5 years. It's
Okay.
going to be maybe 7 years in spring. I
Okay.
can't believe it myself. Seems to me I just moved in.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Was I lucky to get away from there?
Right, right. And you're kind of nice, you're out the front so you
Yeah,
can see what's
I
going on.
really like it here.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's good.
You know, it's warm. We have everything here.
Right,
And there we have some nice people here.
right.
Yeah.
So on a cold day like today, you can at least walk up and down the hall if you
Yes,
want some
in the
exercise.
wintertime.
In the
I
winter
have
time.
my walker right there. I
Right,
use that.
right. That's good. And because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I just didn't realize they were saying May has lived here 20 years, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's hard for me to realize that this building has been here that long.
Yes, yeah.
It's been
In
here long.
fact, I remember when there was the fight going on, someone that built up beside the Lutheran
Yes.
church.
Yes, I remember that. And you-
Moores and Moore, Bill Moore.
And you know who was on council then was Veronica Summerly.
Oh,
She was on council then, and there was a big to-do about using this piece of property to build Shelander Court on. You're right, there was quite a
it was a big-
controversial thing.
I don't remember Veronica.
Yes.
I played bridge with her for how many years?
Oh. I just remember going to the council meetings and her being one of those that was vocal about whether it should be
Yeah.
here or it shouldn't
And
be.
she would always be really very vocal.
Yeah, she was outspoken,
Yeah.
and that was good on council.
Yeah.
That's what we needed
Yeah.
on council. She was one of the first women to be on
Yeah.
council, and Gladys Gordon, of course, was on
Yes.
council as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, I
that
know
was
she
good.
was on there.
Oh, so you belong to a card club too, then?
I played bridge for maybe 30 or 40 years with her. You know who got me in? Chetta Jones.
Did she?
She taught me. I cleaned for her. I don't know how we got into it. She taught me how to play bridge.
Okay, but that's a lifelong skill that you learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm not so sure if it was lifelong, but I'm good in euchre. I can remember
Oh.
the cards, and that I have from bridge.
Right, right. And Southern
I was-
Ontario people played a lot of euchre. I know
Yes.
my mom and dad did too.
We
So
did that, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We actually we do a lot here in the club now. Too.
Right, right. So there you are. See,
Oh.
we've had all that time to talk about it, and Maryanne thought she didn't have very many memories.
But then people think, why is her story? What newspaper are you going to put me in?
No, not in the newspaper. It's going
Thanks
through the
goodness.
museum.
Oh, well then I'm glad.
So now you're in the museum now.
Oh, I don't mind. I have a washing machine there. Oh, John's pictures in there. He was the foreman from the CPR and also, or was he the assistant roadmaster already? That's how we ended up. I think they worked on the crossing.
Oh,
And
okay.
Everett took the picture.
Oh,
We
okay.
found that a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my old washing machine
Right.
is in there. I don't know if they ever fixed it and put it up.
Who knows? There's a lot
And I found Indian arrowhead in my garden.
Did you? And
But they
when you
never
went to-
put my name there.
Oh.
They have 3 or 4. And I thought that they would say I found it in my garden. They never did.
Your
I gave
garden
it to
here-
Roland.
Your garden in town or your garden out
My
on the...
garden in town. Right in my... I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, a really nice arrowhead. I gave it to Roland and he thought it was around 2,000 or 3,000.
Years old.
Yeah.
Wow. So So there you are. You're really a part of history.
No, I'm not. My name isn't in there. I wouldn't have mind of finding that.
Right.
And I didn't think I should keep it. I thought it should go to the museum.
Well, there you are. You're part of the museum.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.